there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining me here. So we're going to be checking out the first social media reactions coming out for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. So this is supposedly supposed to be the final movie in the Mission Impossible franchise. I'm very dubious about that. I think that in years to come, Tom Cruise will get the itch, and I think he'll come back and do more of these movies. If not, another character could possibly take over, or they may do spin-offs in the future, but I don't think this is the last of the Mission Impossible franchise. I think there's too much money left on the table, and I think it's too popular of a franchise for it to just disappear into the ether. But anyway, let's get into these reactions. So this comes to us from comicbookmovie.com. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Social reactions reveal what to expect from Ethan Hunt's send-off. And we know a lot of this movie. Obviously, Tom Cruise is going to be doing his own stunts on these biplanes. They're sort of flying upside down, going through these canyons, and he's kind of on the wing here. And Tom Cruise is just an adrenaline junkie through and through. But man, when it comes to stunts, the guy absolutely knows how to do his stunts. And he's top dog when it comes to that. So, before we get into the reactions, I just want to quickly dive into this because I think it's a bit relevant to what we're talking about. So, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 was widely considered a financial disappointment in 2023, despite earning $570.6 million worldwide. Unfortunately, it underperformed domestically with just $172.6 million. However, The Final Reckoning is eyeing a franchise best debut in North America over Memorial Day weekend. So technically, this is called The Final Reckoning, but I mean, if we want to be pedantic, this is basically Dead Reckoning Part 2. This is basically one movie split over two movies, if you like. So I would highly recommend, if you haven't seen Dead Reckoning Part 1, you absolutely need to see that movie in order for The Final Reckoning to make sense. So I would really recommend watching Dead Reckoning Part 1 before you dive into this movie. Otherwise, I don't think it will make that much sense. But that's just me. You may feel different. So let's get into these social media reactions. So starting off here, like the fuse, The Final Reckoning sticks the landing on the Mission Impossible film series with the most intense, visceral, emotional, and powerful mission of them all. Tom Cruise does it again with incredible stunts. You really feel the danger is awesome in IMAX. So, best to take blood pressure meds before watching Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Blood pressure meds, that's interesting. Because once the insanity starts, it doesn't stop. It's exceptionally entertaining with pulse-pounding stunts that will leave you gasping. Tom Cruise has done it again. Okay. So, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is 2 words: absolute cinema. The perfect amount of action, heart, suspense, and yes, nostalgia to keep both new and veteran fans entertained from the depths of the ocean to the peaks of the clouds, literally. So, moving on here, The Final Reckoning is oddly the least action-forward entry in the franchise. It's long, it's plotty, it's repetitive, but when those scenes do hit, holy shit, they're incredible. So I'm pretty mixed on it overall. High highs, low lows. Okay, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is the action movie of the summer. Tom Cruise defies all odds with jaw-dropping action built only for IMAX. Every stunt, every set piece, every second is designed to blow your mind, a pulse-pounding thrill ride, and Cruise remains the... Let's just go over here. And Cruise remains the king of spectacle. Absolutely, he's top dog when it comes to stunts. I don't think anyone does it better than Tom Cruise. Okay, so moving on to this next one here. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is dull and dysfunctional in a way I didn't think the franchise was capable of. Wow. Okay, this person really didn't like this movie. Set pieces are obviously incredible, but as someone who's so supportive of Cruise's crusade to save the movies and whatnot, this was a massive heartbreaker. Okay, so our really kind of first negative social media reaction there. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is somewhat satisfying conclusion to the Mission Impossible saga. Macquarie interweaves footage from all the previous films into this one seamlessly. Tom Cruise continues to push the boundaries and will blow audiences away with death-defying plane sequence. The Final Reckoning may not be the best film in the franchise, but it is still a solid entry that should be experienced on the big screen. Absolutely, there's no other way to watch this other than watching it on IMAX. Absolutely has to be done. I would recommend that to anyone. So, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is a solid addition to the franchise. I struggled with some of the mission details and callbacks to past installments, but that didn't stop the movie from successfully sparking one heck of a build that culminates in a super tense big... let's just finish off on the post here. Super tense big finish. As you would expect, there's a number of extremely impressive set pieces in the movie, but the two that totally took my breath away were the biggies, the underwater material, and the plane sequence. Just absolutely astounding cinematic feats, prime examples of why it's about damn time we have a stunt category at the Academy Awards. I don't think you'll find many movie fans that disagree with that whatsoever. Stunt men and stunt women need to be recognised more when it comes to movie making, but that's a whole nother video for another day. So, Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning ratchets up the stakes higher than they've ever been. A rocky start, but once the main mission kicks in, the tension never lets up. So gripping it will have you holding your breath, a thrilling end should they choose to accept it. I don't think this is going to be the end of the franchise. I can almost bet my bottom dollar on it. We're going to see more of these movies. Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning is a love letter to fans who just rewatched the entire series. I just rewatched Dead Reckoning Part 1, had a great time with it. It ties the entire series together as one story rather than 8 entries. First time I've cried in the series. Plane sequence is one of cinema's greatest stunts. I loved it. I like that. That's very interesting. They're tying all of the movies into one movie. That's going to be interesting to see how that works. Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning rips. Loved it. An exhilarating adrenaline rush from the head and heart and immersive or induced stuntacular of the highest order. I almost got my words mixed up then. An exhilarating adrenaline rush for the head and heart and immersive or inducing stuntacular of the highest order. That's a really big mouthful to get through. Christopher McQuarrie, obviously the director of the movie, and Tom Cruise and company have crafted the gold standard. A brilliant, bold action here for the ages. See it big and loud. Director Chris McQuarrie and star Tom Cruise truly take Mission Impossible to the next level with The Final Reckoning. Absolutely astonishing action moments meet a sprawling story with many nods to past Mission Impossible films. It's the biggest, wildest, and most consequential mission movie yet. Let's just finish the rest of the post here quickly. Two of my favourite all-time mission action sequences are in this film. One that plays like a horror movie and one that took my breath away. Lots of classic spy movie bits in here too. Also, maybe the most Cruise running in a Mission Impossible movie to date. Yeah, I mean, every time we have a Mission Impossible movie, there always has to be scenes of Tom Cruise running through a city centre somewhere. Just has to be done. It really does go all in, and it's a good time for sure. When I was a kid, my dad would tell me Tom Cruise is a guy who gives you your money's worth at the movies. Absolutely wouldn't disagree with that. I've always agreed with that sentiment, and definitely still do after watching The Final Reckoning. Okay, so let's keep going. We've got a couple more here to get through. So, while not as bad as TROS, I'm not sure what that is. Final Reckoning is undoubtedly cut from the same cloth, plagued by insecurity. Mission Impossible 8 plays like an egregious franchise greatest hits. Scenes have no beginning or end. Is scatterbrained nonsense, a constant flow of exposition. Let's go over and read the rest of it here. Exposition and flashbacks, bloated, tedious, self-serious, with an overinflated sense of self-importance. Wow, this guy really is ripping this apart. He didn't like this whatsoever. Entirely too many characters and subplots that go nowhere, just bodies on the screen. Not to mention it doesn't actually commit to its ideas. One great set piece does not a film make. Can't believe I now have a new appreciation for Dead Reckoning. Yeah, I mean, wow, this is over the top negative. This person really, really didn't like what this film was doing. Okay, let's go down. I think we got... okay. Oh, that's the last one. Okay, so there we go, guys. That's the last review there. I thought there was 2, but there's only 1 left. So we're ending on a very, very negative social media reaction there, unfortunately. But, I mean, its overwhelming majority seem to be praising this movie as being a great kind of send-off for the franchise, which is really, really great to hear. I mean, there are a few mixed and negative reactions in here, so that does make me cautiously optimistic. And the fact that we heard about they're blending all 8 of the movies for nostalgia purposes kind of into this one film, is that going to work the way it should do? I'm not really sure. And with some of these social media reactions saying it's the least action-orientated kind of Mission Impossible movie as well. That gives me a little cause for concern, but I mean, action is everything. I mean, action without narrative purpose is just visual noise anyway. So, I mean, if it sets up a good story, then the action set pieces will pay off regardless of how big or how small they are. But they look pretty phenomenal anyway with the plane and the underwater stuff, so I'm still really, really excited for this movie. But guys, you see these social media reactions, does it get you more excited for the movie? Was you excited anyway, or do these negative reactions kind of dampen your excitement? Whatever your thoughts are after these reactions, let me know down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Will you be there on opening weekend, or are you going to wait for the full reviews to come out before you decide whether to go and watch this film? Whatever you decide to do, I would love to hear your feedback, as I say, guys. As always, thanks so much for being here. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave. Consider becoming a subscriber of the channel if you enjoy my content, and it goes a long way to supporting the content here, guys, so I really, really appreciate that. And as always, I will see you in the next video.